Bobcats with an overall record of 0-9 and 0-6 in conference. Tonight's game is going to be a little warmer tonight than it was last week. Last week's was a little bit more chilly, and this week here we've got a little bit warmer afternoon. Going to start out around 75 degrees, probably end around 70, 71. So a little bit warmer than it has been over the last couple of weeks. However, we start football when it's warm outside, so the guys should be good and ready to go. Brandon, great night for football tonight here on senior night. This is the last home game of the season, the last game of the season for the 2022 Razorbacks.
Yeah, and right on cue, Matt, we see down below us the three seniors of the Arkansas High Razorbacks going to midfield to head out with the referee for the opening coin toss. But, yes, to your point, Matt, great night once again for football as these young men wrap up their 2022 campaign. The three seniors even locked in arms tonight going out to midfield. Really, really special, taking it all in. They were introduced before the game and in pregame ceremonies along with all the other senior athletes of whether it be cheerleading, band. We had Ty Wade, who's a baseball player, so some of the spring sport
they were out there for
athletes.
Golf. Ty Wade plays golf.
Okay, so he's a golfer. Okay, but nonetheless, great night for all Arkansas High senior athletes involved. And like you said, ending this season, it won't go past tonight, unfortunately. But nonetheless, let's get this last win of the season under our belts and just enjoy the season it's been and see these seniors, even though the sun's down, we still say let them ride off into the sunset tonight.
Definitely. And so our three captains tonight for the Razorbacks are going to be your three seniors that are here on the Arkansas High Razorbacks football team, and that is Contravion Parker, Travion Nash, and Jeremiah Jones. And so it looks like the Razorbacks will receive to start the game out. Let's get to our starting lineups.
Once again, I want to thank Chicken Express for providing food for the press box all season long. Razorbacks, appreciate your support. Don't forget, you could win some cash tonight. The senior class, once again, is doing the Split the Pot 50-50 raffle drawing later on during the game. Seniors will be in the stand selling tickets, $5 for each ticket. Or you can visit the Arkansas High School senior table under the stand. Proceeds from sales will go towards the 2023 senior prom next spring. Be sure and visit the concession stand tonight. Get you something good to eat, something good to drink. Support the Texarkana Arkansas Razorback Athletic Foundation.
All right, welcome back. So that was your starting lineup for tonight's game. We waiting for the Razorbacks to come through their tunnel and run out onto the field as Dequeen has already came out and is getting set up for kickoff. Razorbacks will be in their white pant, cardinal top, white lettering along with their traditional cardinal helmets with the Razorbacks posted on the side of it. The Leopards will be in all white unis with black and gold lettering with the black helmets. The Leopards will be kicking off from the, let's see, would that be what did we decide that was going to be?
The
Eastern end zone. Be kicking off to the Razorbacks, who will be defending the west end zone. And here come the Razorbacks as they come out to their sideline, getting ready to kick off this senior night here tonight at Razorback Stadium. Big crowd, a lot of people here in the stands for Arkansas High as they cheer on these young men on senior night and the Razorbacks football team as they play their last season game of the year.
Matt, don't you know the excitement in the air, just the buzz in general? You know, whether you're in the stands, you're on the field, the coaching staff. I mean, you got to be honest with yourself and know that the night centers around just a few of the athletes out of the couple hundred of people who are here, but just what an environment tonight.
Oh, it is, man. And we talked with some of the guys, you know, before yesterday. We talked with the three seniors, and, you know, that's just one of the things they said their favorite thing coming out is seeing the fans and the support that they get from this community here at Arkansas High. So back deep to receive the kick for the Razorbacks as they actually try an onside kick and unable to kick it the full 10 yards. But so we did have back deep was Richard Tyus along with Kobe Burris. The Razorbacks will take over. Looks like they're going to already be into the Leopard side of the field as they will start their 1st and 10 for the night at the Leopards' 44-yard line.
And Matt, by rule, that ball's got to go at least 10 yards forward, and it went 4, I believe.
Yep. So Razorbacks take the field as we will have trips left, single receiver to the right with Cortland Loudermill in the backfield with quarterback Nate Wall.
That play clock got down in a hurry, didn't it?
It did get down pretty quick. Wall takes the snaps, hands off to Loudermill on the far right side towards the Leopard sideline as he is brought out of bounds at the 40-yard line after a 4-yard carry by the sophomore Cortland Loudermill. They actually gave him a 3-yard carry on that, so it's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Hogs. Next play is a quarterback keeper as Wall tries to find a seam and does get enough for the first down as he is brought down after a 12-yard quarterback keeper as ball is now in the 27-yard line of the Leopards. Razorbacks quick to get back to the ball. Wall in the shotgun, Loudermill to his right, and it is a handoff to Loudermill as he finds a seam in the middle of the field, breaks towards the end zone, and gets brought down just short of the goal line, and they're going to mark him at the 2-yard line after an inside carry to Cortland Loudermill.
Matt, the Hogs are marching very quickly here in this opening series. There's not even a minute gone by on the clock here.
Razorbacks get back up to the ball. Looks like we will have their tight formation where they have 2 tight ends, a slot receiver, and Loudermill in the backfield with Wall in the shotgun. Single receiver and Dunbar out to the far left. Loudermill shifts over to the left of Wall. Snap handoff to Loudermill as he goes into the end zone for a 2-yard touchdown run by the sophomore Cortland Loudermill in the first minute 27 seconds of the game. The Razorbacks are already in the end zone. Razorbacks will go into their unique 2-point conversion formation where they have Loudermill to the far left with a slew of Hogs leading the way, and that goes direct snap to Loudermill as he tiptoes into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So after a minute 27 of play, the Razorbacks lead the Leopards 8-0 as we get ready for the kickoff.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here tonight, Matt. We have not seen anything from Dequeen. The only thing we know about them is what is on paper. But this seems like this could be a very fun offensive night for the Razorbacks here as they wrap up the season finale.
Very well. We talked with a few, like I said, we talked earlier yesterday with the seniors, and one of their biggest things that they were bringing up is the fact that the team that they are playing is 0-9, has not won a game all year. However, they cannot take that for granted. They said that they will come out and play ball like they know how to play ball, and looks like so far in the first minute and a half, that's what we're seeing. And so we have Hayden Moya, the sophomore kicker, kicking off for the Razorbacks, as the Leopards have to bring on some extra personnel. Moya tries an onside kick as the ball is up and bobbled. However, the Leopards do fall on the ball. Great onside kick by Hayden Moya as it took the right bounce at the right time. Leopard defender or returner goes up to try to receive that ball and loses it. However, his guy to his immediate right was there to fall on top of it. So the Leopards will take over 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
And something you don't see as well, Matt, traditionally, especially to open a game. Both teams electing to go with an onside kick. I wonder if tonight, because they know the formality of, what lies after tonight and their season's over, if they're just a couple teams going to have a bunch of fun trying different things tonight.
So it will be a handoff towards the Razorback sideline as he is brought down in the backfield by number 31, Jackson Cannon, the linebacker. So that will be, well, they actually gave him a 1-yard gain. It looked from here like he was brought down a little bit farther back. However, they gave him a 1-yard carry on that run. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Leopards. Quarterback hands off to the running back as he's met in the backfield, and they're going to give him looks like they're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage on the forward progress.
Good job right there by the Hogs defense, just stuffing the middle of that offensive line of Dequeen right at the snap, and the running back for the Leopards had absolutely nowhere to go on that would-be run.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Leopards. Leopards try the option to the far left, and it is broken up by a few of the Hogs. Leading the way is number 29, Malik Dangerfield, along with number 43, the sophomore in be Christian Roberts.
Good job right there by the Hogs secondary coming up, and as the Dequeen quarterback went to give the option to the running back on the outside, Arkansas High defenders did not collapse down towards the quarterback and stayed true and held their ground and wrapped up the Dequeen running back for a 2-yard loss there.
So the Leopards in their punt formation here on 4th and 10. A high snap, punter does maintain it in a high hanging punt as Kobe Burris calls for the fair catch around the, looks like they're going to mark him at the 17-yard line, where the Hogs will have a 1st and 10. Sorry about that little noise we had. Looks like somebody behind us was turning something on. However, it should be clear now. So we have 8 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Hogs on their 2nd drive of the night, starting at their own 17-yard line. Well, they will have trips right, a single receiver in Dunbar to the left. Quarterback Nate Wall tries his hard count, as we see throughout the year, where he has been very effective. Ball is snap, fake handoff to Loudermill, quarterback keeper on the right side. Wall scrambling around the corner, picks up a big block. That block was by number 38, Gabriel Braggs, which gave quarterback Nate Wall enough for a 1st down, so that will move the chains. as they are now at their own 31-yard line.
And that block by the receiver, he got walloped pretty good there, Matt, but still doing his job.
Next play is a handoff to Loudermill as he finds a hole on the right side, stays on his feet, avoids a few tackles, and is finally brought down at the 38-yard line. Well, that's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Razor, or 2nd and 2 for the Razorbacks. Razorbacks back on the ball as quick as they can. Fake handoff to Loudermill as Wall tries to scramble out and throw towards number 7, Javen Davis, but the ball was just short for an incomplete pass. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
Surprised really there, Matt, to see him throw the ball. I mean, I know that's a part of any football offense, but we started the game with 8 run plays in a row and just really dominating the ground game early.
Razorbacks in a tight formation. Snap handoff to Loudermill as he goes up the middle. It looks like he will have enough to move the chains. He's brought down by a ton of the Leopards. But it will be enough on a 4-yard gain by Loudermill to move the chains for a Razorback first down. Razorbacks now at their own 42-yard line with 7 minutes 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Ball hands off to Loudermill as he gets down the left side, finds a hole, hurdles over one of the defenders, and is brought down in Leopard territory. And that will be enough for another Razorback first down as the Razorbacks now on the Leopard 45-yard line after the carry by sophomore Cortland Loudermill.
Matt, if trend holds true here even early, maybe a long night for this Dequeen defense, spending a lot of time on their heels.
Fake handoff to Loudermill quarterback keeper as Wall tries to find a hole and was met by a couple Leopards, and they're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Razorbacks. Wall's helmet does come off during the play, so he will have to come off the field for one play as he gets his helmet readjusted and put back.
And to your point, Matt, that's going to send Cortland Loudermill, our running back, on a nightly, weekly basis into, what do we call that, the Mustang, the Wildcat offense? Formation.
So Loudermill will be in at quarterbacks. He takes a direct snap, tries to get up the middle, but is met immediately by a few of the Leopards. And they're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage. So that will bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Hogs. So we've seen one pass of the night for the Razorbacks. Every other play other than the pass has been a run. So the clock has been winding down pretty quick here in the first quarter as we're now at 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and to help with that, Matt, not a single play for the Razorbacks has gone out of bounds. So staying in bounds is just a clock running continuously, which goes into the Hogs' favor as well.
Fake handoff. Wall scrambling to his left, trying to find a hole to get into, however, ends up getting knocked out of bounds by number 2, Jonathan Bahina. And that will be a 5-yard loss on the sack. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 15 for the Hogs as the ball is back in Hog territory at their own 49-yard line.
Holy crap, is that Matt Riddle?
We have a comedian in the booth tonight, and Mr. Billy Wade.
We may have to get old Billy over here and let him do a little talking here a little bit.
I guess these coaches find something to do when it's not their season in sport.
Just waiting for baseball.
Old Billy's waiting till that calendar flips to second semester.
So there is a flag on the play. It looks like it will be a delay of game against the Hogs as the Hogs bring on their punt team with punter sophomore Joshua Sharp. We'll move the ball back a few more yards and try to get this punt away. Back deep to receive the punt is Donovan Esther. One is a hanging spiral that takes a hog bounce and will go out of bounds at the Leopard 22-yard line, where Dequeen will take over 1st and 10 after the punt. So we have 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in this first quarter as the Razorbacks lead the Dequeen Leopards 8-0. Ball was on the right hash towards the Razorback sideline at the 22-yard line of the Leopards. 1st and 10 for Dequeen.
Good punt there once again by Mr. Sharp, as he's done all season. The ball left his foot at his own 30, and here the Leopards are almost inside their 20-yard line.
Quarterback handoff to number 3, Esther, as he gets to the outside and is brought out of bounds by number 25, Kobe Burris, along with number 21, Jordan Williams. And that will be a 5-yard carry by Esther. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Leopards. Quarterback Cole Binkley gets his call from the sideline. Dequeen using the huddle offense that we haven't seen very much of this year. A lot of the teams that we have played and seen, along with the Razorbacks, go with a no huddle. So it will be a handoff to the fullback as he is met in the hole by number 42, Mequan Traylor. They'll give him a yard gain on that carry. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Leopards. Brandon, you know, as a quarterback, and granted, you weren't a quarterback in high school, however, seeing a quarterback run to the sideline to get the play every time, to run back onto the field, give his offense the play, and then execute the play, it's got to be rough on a young man.
Yeah, these guys are young and agile and athletic, as they should be, but to your point, it's just a lot of extra that the signal caller already doing enough in command of the offense. Just one more thing on his plate to have to be responsible for.
So next play is a run by Esther as he gets enough for a 1st down for the Leopards. Ball is now at the 32-yard line of Dequeen, where they have a 1st and 10 here with 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Binkley hands off to the running back as he goes up the middle and finds a hole and breaks a few tackles and is on the way towards the end zone as he is being chased down by Jordan Williams, however, unable to get there in time, and that will be a Dequeen touchdown for a 65-yard touchdown run by number 12, Trey Brown.
And really the first burst of life, if you will, that we've seen from Dequeen's offense tonight. I know it's still very early, but the first series went 3 and out. This series here, they did manage a 1st down, but everything was a run up the middle, and even that was too. But just happened to get a block from their offensive line, as they're supposed to. But they spread the Hogs' defense out, and the running back made a good cut back behind his line, and just up the gut he went for 65 yards.
So Binkley comes in for the 2-point conversion for the Leopards. Man in motion. Handoff to the running back as he does get into the end zone, so that will tie the score. Arkansas High Razorbacks 8, Dequeen Leopards 8, with 3 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7, the Real Country, home of the Hogs.
That's been a fast-paced first quarter.
I feel like I talk nonstop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need to take a breath.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm. All right, welcome back. Score is 8-8 with 3 minutes 5 seconds left in this first quarter. Kickoff is caught around the 25-yard line by Kobe Burris as he breaks up the sideline and is brought down at the 37-yard line. I'm sorry, that was number 29, Malik Dangerfield. So Razorbacks will take over first and 10 at their own 37.
And Matt, just for some humor, I can only speak of this from our angle. And I've never stepped foot on a high school football field, but how cool would it have been for the kick returner there for Arkansas High to just say the heck with following the blocks, and everybody's sucked into the right side on the sidelines, and he just
makes an
immediate left, and maybe he's off to the races.
Exactly. Wall in it, shotgun Loudermill to his left, fake handoff to Loudermill. Wall met in the backfield, however, stays on his feet, scrambles around, hits the sideline, and knocked out of bounds around the 42-yard line. However, there is a flag on the play, and we see multiple flags on the play.
We will wait for the call, of course, Matt, but as soon as Nate Wall went to evade the D lineman and turned his back the other direction and spun around, you know that's going to be a tough task for his offensive lineman to then help corral the D lineman as they move to chase Nate Wall, and typically a hold comes in from your offensive lineman.
Yeah, normally 9 times out of 10, if it is a long, drawn-out play, normally you do see some dirty laundry come on the field, and it looks like it will be a holding call on the Hogs. So they'll move them back, and that's going to take the ball all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Matt, I believe they've since come in and given Dequeen a personal foul on an unnecessary hit on Nate Wall, I believe, as he was headed out of bounds.
Now they should be offsetting penalties. It should put the ball back at the line of scrimmage. They're going to move it. Looks like it's going to be about 2 yards ahead of the stick, so that's going to bring up a 1st and 8.
Matt, were you a math major in school? Because I've yet to figure out the math on a football field.
I am telling you one thing, that we get 2 offsetting penalties and they both are 15 yards and end up in the same, you think you end up in the same spot. However, we always end up in a different area. Must be something we don't know or something. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it was a spot foul. However, we never end up in the same place. 15 yards back, 15 yards forward, end up 16 yards, 17 yards difference. So next play is a handoff to Loudermill as it goes down the left side and is brought down by 3 Leopards at the 44-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Hogs.
Even makes me wonder if the traditional home cooking comes into effect on walking off a penalty that involved both teams.
Walsh direct snap, runs over to the right side as he breaks past the first down and trucks one of the Dequeen Leopards, and that will be enough for a Razorback first down, as they are now in Leopard territory as the ball will be placed at the 45-yard line.
And even some friendly fire there from Nate Wall as he inadvertently hit his own man in front, and that knocked the Dequeen Leopard defender to the ground.
Split receivers, a single running back to Wall's left in Cortland Loudermill. Ball snap and fake handoff to Loudermill, thrown across the middle to Javen Davis, where he makes the catch and is brought down by number 16, Cole Bass. I'm sorry, it's Garrett Matthews. So it'll be 2nd and 1 for the Hogs. Split receivers again, Loudermill now to Wall's right as we wind under 1:20 for the first quarter.
A lot of fast-paced action here by both teams to start early.
Wall quick pass over to the right side, just thrown short of his looks like it may be Bragg's, as it was just short, incomplete pass, and that will bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Hogs. Now somehow we move the ball back a few yards. Looks like they haven't seen very much of that, an incomplete pass for a loss. However, it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Hogs. And off to Loudermill up the middle as he tries to get to his far right. Dives out towards the first down mark, and we will see where they mark this, if it's going to be enough for a Razorback first down. And it will be. That will move the chains on the last second effort by Cortland Loudermill as he dives towards the first down mark and does get enough for a first down. So Razorbacks will now have a 1st and 10 at the Leopard 35-yard line. Here as we are winding down on this first quarter, looks like we may not see another play as we have 14 seconds left. Razorbacks get in for the play to see if they can snap this ball before the quarter, and they do. And it is a handoff to Loudermill up the middle as he will gain 3 yards on the carry. And that will end our first quarter here in a tied up football game. Razorbacks 8, Leopards 8. As we end the first quarter, let's take a 60-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
And don't forget, the senior class is doing a split-the-pot 50-50 raffle drawing later in the game. Seniors will be in the stand selling tickets if you're interested, $5 per ticket.
Skylar, to be honest with you, I'm glad that we had a long interview because this has been nonstop talking.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound.
All right, welcome back as we start the second quarter. And the first play of the second quarter is a deep 32-yard pass, and it was caught by freshman number 13, DeAndre Burnell, as he was wide open in the back of the end zone on a 32-yard touchdown pass by Nate Wall. Razorbacks going to their two-point conversion, swinging gate formation as they look over to the sideline to decide what they're going to do on this. And it is a direct snap to Loudermill as he is brought down just short of the end zone, so the two-point conversion will be no good for the Hogs. So that will bring your score, Arkansas High Razorbacks 14, Dequeen Leopards 8, as we have 11 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in this first half of play.
Matt, really good response there immediately by the Razorbacks. I'm sure, with all due respect to Dequeen, that 68-yard run by the Leopards kind of caught them off guard. They came here to play ball too, of course. You know, on paper, their season has not gone as planned, just like some of the Razorbacks' season this year, but you're still taught to line it up and play hard for the four quarters when you show up to any football game.
Definitely, no matter what, you got to get out there, and like we told the three seniors that we talked to, leave it all on the field. Last game of the season, need to be able to walk off that field knowing that you gave it everything you got. So Hayden Moya to kick off for the Hogs. And he kicks the ball deep downfield as it bounces from the 5-yard line and rolls into the end zone for a touchback.
Kickoff goes in the end zone, that'll be a touchback.
So the Leopards will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
1st and 10 Leopards for their own 20.
Binkley gets his way from the sideline, goes into his huddle.
See if the senior Jeremiah Jones can stand tall here on this series for the Razorbacks defensively. Kind of have the shining light on him tonight.
There's a handoff to Esther as he is wrapped up by number 20, Rodney Kinley, on a 4-yard carry by Esther. Bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Leopards. There's another handoff to Esther on the right side as he gets through and looks like he may have enough for a 1st down, and it will be enough to move the chain. So it will be a 1st down for the Dequeen Leopards as they spot the ball at the Leopard 31-yard line. The Leopards formation that they have been running majority of the night is quarterback under center with a fullback and 2 running backs in the backfield. And it will be another handoff to number 4, Kodo, as he is brought down at the line of scrimmage.
And to start the game, Matt, as we're into the 2nd quarter now, after multiple series by each team, that was now the 11th straight run play by Dequeen.
So 2nd and 10 for the Leopards. Handoff to Esther as he goes up the middle and then breaks out towards the sideline, where he is brought down out of bounds by Jordan Williams after getting enough yardage for a 1st down on an 11-yard carry by Esther.
Thought the Razorbacks might have had him wrapped up a couple yards short there on the sideline or headed towards that right side, Matt, and he just was able to kind of dance his way past the sticks and move the ball for the next set of downs for the Leopards.
Looks like we have a personal foul face mask against the Hogs, so that will push the ball another 15 yards downfield, and that will bring it into Razorback territory. The ball will be placed at the Hogs' 43-yard line.
After the middle, it'll be 1st and 10 Leopards from the Razorback 43-yard line.
We have 10 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Razorbacks lead the Leopards 14-8. Leopards go with the handoff to number 12, Brown, as he gets a 9-yard carry.
Matt, you think it's safe to say that there's going to be a lot of ground game from Dequeen tonight to keep the Hogs' offense off the field in the fast-paced, no-huddle that the Hogs like to run? And Dequeen knows, just even from a week ago, seeing film, the Razorbacks can put up points in a hurry whenever things are clicking.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think we haven't seen one pass from Dequeen tonight, all run.
About their 15th play in a row here to start the game. That's a run.
And off to Esther as he goes down the right side and is tripped up by Jordan Williams. That will be enough for a 1st down for the Leopards as they are now inside the 25-yard line of the Razorbacks.
And Dequeen showing the Razorback team and the Razorback faithful fans tonight that they are not going to just roll over and go quietly into the night here.
Handoff is broken up by number 42, McQuan Traylor. And he will get back to the line of scrimmage. Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Leopards. Binkley back to the line as he reverses over to Esther brought down again by Jordan Williams. Going to give him a 1 yard gain on the carry.
And
that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Leopards.
And Matt, that time the Razorbacks had their snouts out, if you will, and sniffed that one out as the same play happened 2 previous plays ago. And the running back went inside for the handoff and around the right, and the Razorbacks were waiting to greet him there in the hog pen.
Looks like we will have a flag on a play for a false start on the Leopards.
False start to call against the Leopards.
Push them back 5 yards. Bring up a 3rd and 14. Ball sitting at the Razorbacks 28-yard line.
It'll be 3rd and 14 for the Leopards from the Razorbacks 28-yard line.
Excuse me for yawning.
It's not that late, Matt, right? I mean, it's been pretty good action so far.
Hand off to Esther up the middle as he is brought down by number, I believe that is 94. Actually, unable to see what number that is. I believe it's Stephon Dunn on the tackle. That's going to bring up a 4th and 11 for the Leopards. Binkley goes under center. Tries a hard count. Razorbacks hold their ground.
Matt, you had Razorback teammates kind of pulling each other back there from the line of scrimmage as if to say, no, don't go yet.
And it looks like it will be a timeout call by the Leopards. So with that timeout, let's take a timeout here. Let's go 60-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs. Turn that little plug that little fan in, turn it on, and shoot this way. It's hot. All right, welcome back after that timeout. The Leopards fake a handoff and roll to the right where Binkley completed a pass for enough for a Leopard first down. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Leopards as they are now on the 11-yard line of the Razorbacks. First pass play we have seen tonight for the Leopards. Next play is a reverse over to Esther as he is brought down at the 3-yard line. That looks like that was Jordan Williams again on the tackle, or actually it looks like it's Kobe Burris on the tackle.
Good shoestring tackle nonetheless. Dequeen Leopard running back was headed for the front pylon there, and defense able to hold him up at least momentarily.
Quarterback keeper up the middle. And it will be enough for a touchdown by quarterback Cole Binkley. On a 3-yard carry. Quarterback sneak. That's 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this first half. as it looks like the Leopards will go for the 2-point conversion. Inky takes a snap, a handoff to Esther as he gets around the corner and does get in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So after, let's say, a quarter and a half of play, the Dequeen Leopards lead the Arkansas High Razorbacks 16-14. So after that touchdown, let's take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs. We better figure something out.
Yeah, Dequeen came to spoil the party. Yeah, so far
I thought it was going to be kind of a really long game with the way the Hogs were going off the bat. And, welcome back. Bahena kicks off down to the 30-yard line where it is received by, looks like it may be Malik Dangerfield. And he gets all the way up to the 43-yard line where he is brought down. And so the Hogs will take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Razorbacks get up to the ball as quick as they can, eager to get this series started. 3 receivers to the right, single to the left, and it is a handoff to Loudermill up the middle as he runs over the linebacker and manages to gain 7 yards on the carry. That will mark the ball at midfield. So bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Hogs. Hogs trips right, Loudermill to Walls right. Single receiver William Dunbar over to the far left towards the Dequeen sideline. And it is a fake handoff to Loudermill as Wall is met in the backfield, and it will be a sack by the Leopards, and Wall will lose 6 yards on that sack. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Razorbacks.
And Matt, the Leopards hanging tough so far with the home squad Razorbacks. Going to maybe need to see a little fire lit under these guys in red and maybe see where that leadership from their big 3 guys shows up and really enforces the strength of who they are and the leadership that they possess, and rally the troops here and just, you know, maybe a game of controlling the clock going forward.
And, you know, unique situation there. Quarterback got sacked, and we get a timeout call by Coach Trey Outlaw as he waits for the play clock to get all the way down to 1 to continue to bleed that clock down, and calls a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. And so our game clock now at 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in this first half. Razorbacks will have a 3rd and 9 after the timeout. Ball is sitting at the Razorbacks 44-yard line. And Coach Trey Outlaw does not look too happy with, unsure if it was the blocking or if it may have just been a missed assignment by one of the Razorbacks. However, calls the timeout, gets in with his troops, and gets them ready back on the field.
Yeah, sending a strong message early to these guys. Close out your season the way you know how. Carry over from last Friday into tonight and keep playing good Razorback football.
Webb trips right, Loudermill to Walls right. It is a handoff to Loudermill down the left side as he breaks a few tackles and is brought down past the sticks. However, there is a flag on the play that comes from back deep in the secondary of the Leopards. We'll see what that call is. It looks like we have a few Hogs with their hands up in the air, so it looks like it'll be a holding call against the Razorbacks. So they'll move back. They'll move back 5 yards and replay third down. So it's going to give the Hogs a 3rd and 14.
Really a shame there, Matt. Had Loudermill with nothing but green in front of him around the left side, blocks in front, had the first down by a couple of yards. Shame to see that play go to waste there for the Razorbacks on this drive. They need to close out this first half in a strong way and keep the momentum on their side.
Quarterback keeper as Wall has met the backfield on a 3-yard sack. It's going to bring up a 4th and 16 for the Hogs. The Razorbacks bring on the punt team, and Joshua Sharp, the sophomore punter. Hogs trying to get some different personnel on the field. Looks like they've got everybody out there they need. Sharp punts the ball away as there's a low line drive that does take a Razorback hop. And will be downed at the 22-yard line. Didn't think that punt was going very far. However, Razorbacks get a generous hop on the first bounce, and the ball rose about 9 to 10 yards from where it originally landed. And that's where the Leopards will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line here with just shy of 3 minutes left in this first half. Razorbacks trailing the Leopards 14-16. Binkley comes to the line. It is a option to the right, and he is brought down after a 3-yard quarterback keeper by McQuan Trailer.
Quarterback keeper brought down by several Razorbacks after a short game.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Leopards. And Brandon, I was just looking at my watch, and we are 44 minutes into this game, and we are under 2.5 minutes left in the first half.
It's almost like the mercy rule and the scoreboard running nonstop, except in a tight ball game here, just still finishing out the first half, as you mentioned.
Next was a carry by number 4, Kodo, as he got a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Leopards.
They'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Leopards.
Binkley under center. Clock down to 1:40. And looks like the Leopards will take a timeout. So with that timeout, let's take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
Nine o'clock?
Yeah.
Even with a 20-minute half?
Probably.
Even if the score stays close and nobody goes out of bounds all night?
Heck, they've thrown, what, 3 passes on the night?
Who? Dequeen?
Overall.
Or overall?
3
Well, let's
passes.
see. 1, 2.
Five passes.
Between both teams.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of clock running.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if
All right, welcome back after that timeout. 1:40 remaining in the first half. The Leopards at their own 27-yard line. Snap is a handoff to Esther as he goes down the right side and is met by Christian Roberts. And I believe that is Cannon Jackson Cannon,
After on the carry,
as it'll bring up a 4th and 5 for the Leopards.
tackle made by Christian Roberts and several of the Razorbacks.
So it looks like we have another timeout called. So we have 1:31 left in the first half. Leopards with a 4th and 5. So it looks like we will possibly give the Razorbacks another shot at getting in the end zone before the half. The Leopards will receive the second half kickoff as the Razorbacks receive the first half kickoff.
Matt, makes me wonder, too, if in fact Dequeen holds true here to a typical 4th down deep in their own territory and they punt to the Razorbacks. A lot of passes from Nate Wall this season we have seen as quick outs to the sidelines. If they can get this ball back in good territory with, safe to say, 1:20 left on the clock and 1 timeout, be curious to see what kind of offense we see in the last minute, 15, minute 20, as opposed to the ground and pound that we've seen for the first almost 2 full quarters from the Razorbacks. Nate Wall has attempted only 3 passes tonight.
So Kobe Burris back deep to receive the punt. And it looks like there is a flag on the play, and it looks like the Hogs did jump off sides.
Offside is the call against the Razorbacks.
That will be a 5-yard penalty, and we'll see where the spot of it is, if that is enough for a first down. And it's right at the flag stick, and it is going to be a first down for the Leopards as the Razorbacks draw the penalty off sides. It gives the Leopards just enough to get a first down.
First down, Leopards.
That's the worst scenario possible there for the Razorbacks, Matt, as we all know. I know that's an obvious statement, of course, but you just got to stay disciplined and get the ball back into your offense's hands in likely Dequeen territory.
Hand off to Esther as it's blown up in the backfield by number 42, McQuan Traylor. And we've seen McQuan's name, had said his name quite a bit tonight, as he has been in on quite a bit of tackles here tonight.
As he has all season.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Leopards. Binkley comes up under center, and it will be a handoff to Esther up the middle as he is brought down by Jackson Cannon after a 6-yard carry on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4, actually a 3rd and 5 rather, for the Leopards, as the clock now to 35 seconds left in the first half. Razorbacks have 1 timeout. The Leopards have 1 timeout remaining. There's a handoff to Esther on the right side. Tries to cut back in the middle, but is brought down by Jordan Williams. And the Razorbacks will call a timeout with 18 seconds left on the clock. Leopards with a 4th and 1. Razorbacks in hope of a punt here to give them a shot at getting in that end zone before halftime.
And Matt, if you're the Razorbacks here, it is 4th and 1. You got to maybe think that Dequeen's just going to settle for running out the clock because you are out of timeouts. Dequeen will keep the ball in their possession, and if they are tackled in bounds, so be it. They get the ball to start the second half. But, you know, Dequeen's also looking to execute here and see if they can make some good luck happen for them in this final play of the first half. You got to stand tall here if you're the Razorbacks defensively.
It's a big play here before the half. And it looks like the Leopards will bring their offense on the field as we see Binkley going under center with his 3 running back crews behind him. It is a handoff up the middle to number 12, Trey Brown, and that will be enough for a first down. It looks like that will wind the clock down under 10 seconds. And looks like they will not run another play here in the first half. So after the first half of football tonight, the Dequeen Leopards lead your Arkansas High Razorbacks 16-14. And Brandon, what are your thoughts on that first half?
Fast-paced tempo by both teams, obviously. Really shocked that as fast as both quarters wound down, from 12 minutes to start on down to 0, of course. You and I were talking about it up here in the booth. By math, the first half took 55 minutes. And I know there's a little intermission or break in between quarters, but you got to figure just 24 minutes for 2 quarters. Couple of timeouts thrown in there by each team, and so everything adds up. But nonetheless, we get one half of football done in less than an hour. But overall, the thoughts, the Razorbacks, hard to speak on this if we're not in the locker room, if we're not in their practice during the week. But you got to think that looking at things on paper, you know, and for us interviewing some of the guys at halftime, there's a lot of excitement being senior night, and maybe just a little bit of looking past their opponent, honestly, as everybody knows that's followed 5A South football this season, that Dequeen comes in 0-9, had a lot of hard luck this season. Seems to be a young group across the way for them as well, and they're kind of in a rebuilding mode, and the first 9 teams of the season have had their way with them. Yep. And I think the Razorbacks ultimately were looking to do the same. And with all due respect, I mean, that is what you do. You go into a game looking and thinking on how to beat your opponent, how to win on every snap. But maybe the Razorbacks kind of looking too far ahead, and you hate to say taking them for granted, but as of right now, the scoreboard shows that the Razorbacks might have taken this opponent a little lightly.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Well, so earlier in the week, or actually, I say earlier in the week, normally we do these on midweek. However, with this game being here on Thursday night, we were able to talk with the three seniors for Arkansas High. And so let's play that interviews that we had with all 3 seniors for the Razorbacks. All right, Skylar, I'm going to take the headset off here for a little bit. Let me know what you got on time. 1,300 seconds. I think it's running to the first.
Would that be 20 minutes since it's a 20-minute halftime? Or 20 and a half minutes? I don't know.
1,300 seconds divided by 60. 21 and a half minutes.
So there you go.
Sounds good, Scott.
And here comes the lights onto the field once again. Let's have a big hand for our Hogs students high on good students, good grades, Kilpatrick and Fairview. Congratulations.
I'm working the dugout, guys. So go eat Friday night. Saturday, I'll be there all day.
We get free food if we go?
I can give you all my discount.
Probably like 10%.
It's 30.
Oh, okay. So I'll save you on some taxes.
You want to go to dugout?
I can get tomorrow night.
We can eat cheap.
I want to go tomorrow night.
Because we ate expensive for lunch today.
Never.
Look at her shopping.
Can you,
Yeah, don't ever DoorDash out back.
is the dugout a place where you can eat with one hand?
Look at her shopping. Just sitting here shopping.
You should buy it.
No, she should buy it. Oh, wait, yeah. Good young man. My card ain't on there.
I agree. You should buy it. No, add to cart.
I think that's cute. For what? I'm gonna have to go. No one having a Christmas party? Was I not invited?
My company has a Christmas party.
I'm your daughter. Was I not invited?
No.
When are we setting up your trees?
I thought it was already done.
Did we order one of them? I don't know if I ever ordered that one.
I like the Oakleys you
I
got.
know it's not this week. Is it?
I like the Oakleys you got him.
I was planning on putting them up on the 1st.
I saw his name
I
embroidered
know.
on them.
That's why I asked. So when are we doing it now?
That was extra, but I like it.
I need help with putting the Christmas lights on.
I got you.
I got you.
When, no, Daniel. My name. I saw it.
Technically mine too. Just saying. Just.
The kids everywhere. The kids everywhere. Oh.
Someone need to know about.
What are these?
I don't know why this is not resized.
Auburn's
The app is designed for mobile and may not resize well. The app will experience issues when we start. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
What hand is this here?
You see me in my Mexico flag, coach?
I did see it.
You ever been to Mexico?
I have.
Got stung by a bumblebee.
Oh, I'm being honest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Not that bad.
Arkansas
Okay,
High
yeah.
School is proud to present the Arkansas High School Red
Thanks.
Line.
Pretty swollen, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways. So when do you get back?
The 11th. What? When is it, huh?
The Red Line is under the direction of Christy Wade
It's on Friday.
and is led by Captain Ainsley Richardson,
I'll take you. I think I'll bet
And
you
Lieutenant Steve
get
Martin.
discounts on that one too.
Grace Otwell, Gracie Easley,
I get free meals at
and
certain
Social
places.
Officer Sarah Beth Wheeler.
So,
This week's dancers of the week are
the
Raylan
11th
Brown
we're setting up your Christmas trees?
and
Good
Zaylee
one.
Wells.
I'm good with it.
Tonight, we want to honor our
Or we could do the
senior
12th or
Steve
13th
Martin.
since it's a weekend.
Excuse me. Are we doing
The
the
Red Line will be performing a
doing the
song
Winston or the
Feel It Still by
deal on the
Coastal
12th
Band.
still?
Captain, are you ready?
No, I'm not. Because they're gonna be my field the first week of December. I'm not putting on them. That's true.
Well, what are we doing? I thought we were doing the batting cage. That should be over. If we go look in the shop and see what's ready. I'm not doing that. Pull it up.
They look good. For the first time like forever.
Have they ever wore those? Take them out clean. I ain't taking them out in 5 years.
Times have changed.
Oh, so how many softball girls did you have show up today?
0. Well, I'm here.
And that's only because she had to be here. Why would you
I
not
wasn't
here?
here at the beginning because I had to go to work first. And I
That's for you.
And now, for our final 2022 halftime performance, drum major, is your band ready?
You ever seen them? You're not a real ball player unless you know who sings that song. She got a deep voice. I need to have a chat with the lady that has been playing my mom.
Try it.
Yeah, try it too. Try one of them. Try one. Try it. It's pretty good, ain't it? Yeah, it's good, don't lie. It's good.
How I feel about that.
It's good, ain't it?
All right, welcome back to the second half. Kind of ran into the second half a little bit. Kickoff from the Razorbacks was returned to around the 44-yard line or 48-yard line. Next play was a handoff to Estes for a 1-yard gain. However, we wanted to make sure we got that interview with the seniors from Arkansas High, the three. I think we called them the three amigos in the interview, and so we just really wanted to make sure that they got the full recognition they needed off of that, and got to sit down and talk with us. Next play is a handoff to Estes on the far right side, brought down at the 50-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Leopards. But just on those interviews, we really enjoyed being able to talk with those young men and see them progress throughout the season. And we wish those three best of luck in whatever they do upcoming after football season is over. So a handoff to Kodo as he goes up the middle and gains 3 yards on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and 4 for the Leopards as they are now in Razorback territory at their Razorback 45-yard line.
4th and a long 3 for the Leopards. Just shy of the Razorback 45.
We've seen all running plays. I think we've only seen a total of 5 passes from
that being both sides.
Yeah. I believe 4 of those were from the Razorback side.
Yep.
And so not very many passes thrown tonight overall. But we do have a timeout called by the Leopards. So with that timeout, let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs. We'll throw that timeout in because I don't know. They didn't really get any stuff at halftime for commercial-wise.
21 more minutes.
Yeah. Do you know where it's going to be to pull back a bow? I got a week-long trip paid for. Up
Yeah.
in Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Oh, when you're reading these, kind of mention, I don't know if y'all know or can find out who's in what position in conference. I know Hot Springs, my uncle said they got third place locked up. So the other, you know what I mean? Like if we find...
All right, welcome back after the timeout. So we do have a few scores here. Hot Springs leads Lakeside 21-7. Falk is trailing Smackover 14-30. Tatum 14, Atlanta 13. And New Diana 10 over Queen City 6. So the next play is a handoff to, I believe that's number 12, Brown. And it is broken up and beat down at the line of scrimmage by numerous Hogs. However, I do see a flag on the play that is sitting around the 40-yard line. However, the Hogs' offense coming onto the field, and it looks like Coach Trey Outlaw gives the signal for decline the penalty. So that will be a turnover on downs, and the Razorbacks will take over 1st and 10. At their own, let's waiting to see the spot, but I believe they're going to take over at their own 46-yard line.
Good first series there defensively by the Razorbacks, Matt, as Dequeen continued to hold true to the run game as a means to control the Hogs and keep the offense off and try to keep them from gaining the second half momentum. But let's see if the Hogs can turn that around very quickly and enjoy the second half here in front of the home crowd.
So referee signaling to restart the play clock. Razorbacks will be in a trips right formation with a single receiver to the left. Dunbar will be, Loudermill will be directly to Wall's right. And it will be a handoff to Loudermill up the middle as he avoids two tackles, breaks another tackle, hits a sideline, throws a stiff arm out, and is brought down out of bounds in Leopard territory at the Dequeen Leopards 33-yard line. And that will be enough for a Razorback first down.
Good chunk of yards there by Loudermill to the left side, as you said, Matt, and at the very end he just kind of put a stamp on that run with a good stiff arm to the Dequeen Leopard defensive back.
Next play is a handoff to Loudermill again as he gains 4 yards on the carry. Brought down around the 29-yard line of the Leopards. Razorbacks right back in formation. But we do have a flag on the play. Come from the side judge over on the Dequeen's sideline. It looks like it'll be a false start against the Razorbacks. It'll move them back 5 yards and place the ball at the 34-yard line. And that'll be a 2nd and 11 for the Hogs.
Second and 11 from the Leopard 34.
Loudermill to the right of Wall, and it is a handoff to Loudermill up the middle. And he gains 3 yards on the play.
Matt, really hard to believe that call was made against the Razorbacks because you also had a Dequeen Leopard guy coming on at the last minute. So maybe to an extent, at the snap of the ball, do you not get the Leopards for
being offsides? It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Razorbacks. Wall takes the quarterback keeper down the sideline, tries to jump over the secondary, and is brought down around the 28-yard or the 23-yard line. And looks like it's going to be just short of the first down. Actually, they mark the ball at the 25, so that's going to bring up a 4th and 2 for the Hogs. This is a big play here for the Razorbacks with a 4th and 2. Hogs in their bunch formation. Wall under center. And he does draw off sides. I believe that will go against the Leopards. One of the Razorbacks did move, however, I believe it was caused from the Dequeen Leopard jumping off sides. And so it will be offsides on Dequeen, so that will be enough for a Razorback first down, as the ball is now sitting at the 20-yard line of the Leopards.
And you even had Dequeen defensive line players there speaking to the referee over the ball, just pleading their case, trying anything they could to not have that call go against them. But to no avail, the Razorbacks are in business.
Next play, a fake handoff to Loudermill. Wall looks deep in the end zone to Burnell and is caught in the back corner of the end zone for a 20-yard touchdown pass from Nate Wall to the freshman DeAndre Burnell. That is the second pass completion to Burnell of the night for both of those going for touchdowns. I believe it was a 32-yarder and a 20-yard touchdown to Burnell. So Razorbacks going into their swinging gate formation. Snap to Wall, and it is a shuffle pass towards Dunbar, but the ball is picked off in the end zone, and that will be a no good 2-point conversion. So after that touchdown, that brings the Arkansas High Razorbacks 20, the Dequeen Leopards 16. So Brandon, a great job that we've seen by quarterback junior Nate Wall on the hard count that he does almost every Friday night that draws off sides. 4th and 2, and Wall goes right at it and draws the defense off sides to move the ball. Next play is a deep pass in the corner of the end zone to Burnell, who is wide open.
You think here in Week 10 that Nate Wall's kind of figured out how the hard count works against the defense?
I would say it gets better and better every week. Next kick is a squib of a kick that does go out of bounds around the 20-yard line. So that will bring the ball out to the 35, where the Leopards will take over 1st and 10. So, Brandon, we've seen that a lot as well from Hayden Moya, the kicker. We've seen that he has a great leg, that he can kick the ball deep. However, they elect to always kind of do the pooch kick. And 9 out of 10 times, the ball goes out of bounds and brings it back to the 35.
Yeah, you'd like to think that maybe you have, and I'm not saying they don't, but in the strategy of kicking off to the other team, have confidence in your special teams getting down. And what if you can pin them inside the 10, the 15?
First play is a handoff to Cotto as he goes up the middle, brought down around the 40-yard line by a slew of Hogs. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 6, or a 2nd and 5, rather.
Randall and Civil Razorbacks on the stop for Arkansas High. Cotto on the carry for Dequeen.
Cotto going under center. 3 running backs behind him, and his handoff to Cotto again as he is brought down by McQuan Traylor at the line of scrimmage. McQuan Traylor came all the way from the left side of the play and made the tackle on the other side of the tackle on the opposite side of the field. And we have seen Traylor all over the field tonight on numerous tackles. I would probably say he's sitting around 9 tackles already for the night.
He's definitely tallied the most, Matt, and between him and Jeremiah Jones up front, pretty good bookends, if you will, to corral the offense.
Quarterback keeper. And he is brought down by number 37, Richard Tyus. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 1 for the Leopards as the ball is sitting at the 44-yard line. Line to gain is the 45. Binkley coming in from the sideline into the huddle after receiving the play from his coach.
A lot of patience on the Dequeen offensive snap here.
It is a quarterback keeper as Binkley goes up the middle. And that will be enough for a Leopard first down on the 3-yard quarterback keeper from Binkley.
And Matt, a little quick side note, talking about Traylor and Jones and Burris, the typical names every Friday night, if you will, this being a Thursday, of course. But Cortland Loudermill has snuck into the left defensive end position here on defense for the Razorbacks.
And speaking of Loudermill, he gets in on the tackle there, along with, I believe that is number 42, McQuine Traylor on another tackle.
The Razorbacks come out of this one tonight, even with the offense doing their part in scoring more points than Dequeen, hopefully. You might even give the game ball to Mr. Traylor for holding up his end of the bargain all night tonight.
So after that play, they did call a false start against the Leopards. So even after the play, it was a penalty on us, so we'll move the ball back 5 yards. So they'll bring up a 1st and 15 for the Dequeen Leopards, as the ball is now sitting at their own 42-yard line. So, Brandon, we were talking about the quarterback running over to the sideline after every play. Well, however, we haven't seen him do much with his legs tonight, so a lot of the plays are handoffs, as we see here. Handoff to Cotto up the middle. Looks like he's going to get the 5 yards back to bring up a 2nd and 10. But, however, you see here, the play just ended. You see Binkley headed back over to the sideline, talking to his offensive coordinator, which I believe is going to be the head coach, Jared Fannin, and then receives the play, runs back to the middle of the field to give said play to his offense, and then they're rush back up to the ball and snap it. Just a lot of leg work for that young man. Next play is a quarterback option as it is flipped over to number 4, Cotto, as he hits down the sideline and is pushed out of bounds by Jeremiah Jones after a big gain. Big hit by Christian Roberts on the quarterback right before he pitched the ball. However, the running back Cotto hit that sideline and just kept going, was finally brought down by Jeremiah Jones in hog territory at the Razorbacks' 27-yard line.
And another successful option there for Dequeen, as that's what they've executed on a lot tonight.
Next handoff is to Brown up the middle. Gains 4 yards on the carry. Brought down by Cortland Loudermill. Clock just under 4 minutes here in the third quarter. Razorbacks leading the Leopards 2016. Ball inside the 25-yard line. Binkley under center. Handoff to Brown up the middle as he is brought down by Cameron Holloway. Or I believe that's actually number 5, Jyrese Randall, the freshman. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Leopards as they are now in the red zone. Ball sitting at the Razorbacks' 19-yard line.
And Dequeen just slowly continues to bleed that clock down and just slowly march their way down into Razorback territory.
Next is a handoff to Esther as he goes up the middle. It is brought down. That was actually Bahina on the carry. But that was enough for a Leopard first down. Ball sitting at the 15-yard line now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Next play, handoff to Brown up the middle. He is wrestled down by Randall again. So for this second half, we have yet to see a pass thrown by Binkley. Every play so far has been a run or a option.
And with the huddled up offense, the Razorbacks have time to breathe, if you will, but it's like slow and torturous pain that their defense is going through right now as they have not stopped Dequeen from coming down into their territory.
Next play is a handoff to Brown as he is brought down by number 37, Richard Tyus. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Leopards. Looks like the ball will be sitting at the 7-yard line. Line to gain is the 5-yard line. Next play is a quarterback keeper. And that'll be brought down around the 3-yard line. That'll be enough for a Leopard first down. So that'll bring up a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. As we're down to a minute left in this 3rd quarter.
Matt and the Leopards got this ball back to start their series at their own 35, and they have chewed up and will now chew up 7 minutes and 46 seconds to end this quarter, and controlling the clock just as they had planned.
That will be a handoff to Bahina as he makes it down to the 1-yard line. 30 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. See if the Leopards decide to run a play before the end of this quarter. The game clock is just shy of what the play clock is. Looks like they will try a quarterback keeper up the middle, and Binkley will get into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown run on the quarterback sneak by Binkley. And that will stop the clock with 4 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Dequeen Leopards electing to go for the 2-point conversion. It is a handoff to number 4, Esther, as he gets into the end zone. So after 11 minutes and 56 seconds into this 3rd quarter, the Dequeen Leopards now lead the Razorbacks 24-20 as we get ready for the kickoff after the touchdown with 4 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter.
And Matt, tip your hat to the Dequeen Leopards tonight. As we stated previously, they get on that bus an hour north of here and they're on a mission. They, just like any other team who's not going to the playoffs in their respective sport, these boys at Dequeen, these young men, they want to finish out the season on a high note just like the Texarkana Razorbacks do. So hats off to them for a moment for coming to play the game and showing up when you're told it's time to put on the pads and square up against your opponent.
Oh, yeah.
The Razorbacks need a good response here as Dequeen took up 2/3 of that 3rd quarter.
Bahina kicks off, and it's bobbled by the Razorbacks at the 20 and bounces back to the 29-yard line where Jairese Randall falls on top of it. So the Razorbacks will take over 1st and 10 with 0.2 seconds remaining in this 1st quarter, or the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for the Razorbacks at their own 29-yard line. Razorbacks heading onto the field. He trips left Single receiver to the right. Loudermill 2 walls left. Wall drops back. Scrambles to his left. Sees some open ground. Takes off running and will slide at the 50-yard line. And there was a late hit after the play from Dequeen after Nate Wall slides. One of the Leopards comes in and gives him a pretty good shove while he was still down, and that will draw a 15-yard penalty against the Leopards for unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul. Should bring that ball inside the 40, put the ball around the 35-yard line. But that does end the quarter. So let's take a 60-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
Against the Leopards. That is the end of the third quarter with your score Leopard 24, Razorbacks 20. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play, let's give a big hand to the Arkansas High Razorbacks band, cheerleaders, and drill team, the Red Lions, and the great job they've done all season long.
But tell Bella to play with me.
That's cool.
Here at Texarkana College, it is our mission to advance.
All right, let's get real. We do things differently at Texarkana College. We understand the real world and we know how to prepare our students.
After the penalties, we begin the fourth quarter's first and 10 Razorbacks at the Leopard 35.
Whether you're starting right out of high school or starting over, there is something for everyone at Texarkana.
All right, welcome back, Hog fans, as we start the fourth quarter here at Razorback Stadium. Razorbacks with a 1st and 10 at the Leopards' 35-yard line. Wall drops back, sees nobody open, takes off on his feet, and is brought down around the 28-yard line. That will be a 7-yard gain on the quarterback scramble by Nate Wall. To end the third quarter, the score of this game is the Dequeen Leopards 24, your Arkansas High Razorbacks 20. Be a 2nd and 3 for the Razorbacks as they are sitting at the Leopard 28-yard line. Next snap is a handoff to Loudermill on the right side as he avoids a few tacklers, tiptoes the line, and is finally brought down out of bounds at the 12-yard line. And that will be enough for a Razorback first down.
Good job of Loudermill there, Matt, keeping his balance around that right side. Had a couple of Dequeen defenders right in front of him with no help from his, offensive teammates, and he just plowed right through them.
Next play is another handoff to Loudermill as he breaks 2 tackles and rustles his way down to the 4-yard line where he is brought down by a few of the Leopards. And so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 3 or a 2nd and 2 for the Hogs as they are now inside the 5-yard line. Line to gain is the 2-yard line. Direct Wall takes off towards the end zone and dives into the end zone on the quarterback keeper and will get the touchdown. However, there was a penalty on the play, and it looks like the Hogs are assuming it's against them.
And you see quarterback Nate Wall very animated with his offensive line, likely for a hold there, as that was a design run from the get-go, Matt. As soon as Nate Wall got the ball, he was off towards the end zone on the left side of his offensive lineman, and so Nate Wall, understandably, very unhappy because even at the end of the play, Nate Wall took a hit right at the goal line, and I waited for a moment for you to call him down, and we move on to the next play, and I see both his hands go across the goal line, and he's outstretched trying to get the ball across. Just, again, the will and continue to fight in that young man. It's unbelievable how tough Nate Wall has been this season.
So 10-yard penalty on a holding call. Next play, a handoff to Loudermill as he gets to the far right sideline and steps out of bounds at the, looks like that's the 9-yard line. So that should bring up a 3rd and 7. Clock winding down to 10 minutes left in this game. Razorbacks trailing the Leopards 24-20. 3rd and 7 from the 9-yard line. Be a quarterback keeper as Wall gets down to the, looks like the 4-yard line where he is brought down. So it'll be a 4th and 2 for the Razorbacks. Line to gain is the 2-yard line. Coach Trey Outlaw giving out signals to his offense. Direct snap to Loudermill up the middle. And Loudermill breaks through and gets in the end zone on a 4-yard touchdown run by the sophomore Cortland Loudermill. Before the 2-point conversion will be attempted, that'll bring the score. Arkansas High Razorbacks 26, Dequeen Leopards 24.
Matt, what a season finale this has ultimately turned out to be. Obviously, with less than 9 minutes to go, you hope that the boys in red, in Razorback red, pull this one out, of course, to enjoy the beginning of their weekend ahead with having tomorrow night off. But nonetheless, a lot of games still left to play, and this has been a matchup of just back and forth. Who's going to have the ball last, potentially?
Exactly. And we see Jeremiah Jones coming in to play receiver here on the 2-point conversion. Haven't seen much of him at wide receiver. And they run a reverse to William Dunbar as he dives into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And it actually looked like they were designing that play to have William Dunbar throw after the reverse, as you've seen quarterback Nate Wall running into the back corner of the end zone. William Dunbar with his hand like he was ready to let the ball fly, but decided to keep it and manages to get in for the 2-point conversion. So that brings the score Arkansas High 28, Dequeen Leopards 24, here with just under 9 minutes remaining in this game. And Brandon, we talked about that on, we've been waiting to see all season, is a reverse or a backwards pass to William Dunbar to see him be able to throw the ball downfield, knowing that he has the arm and the quarterback ability. And it looks like we possibly could have seen it right there on that 2-point conversion. However, he decided to keep it and get himself into the end zone.
And pretty funny there, and exactly to your point, it's just been 2 weeks ago that was one of your questions to Nate Wall in one of our weekly interviews with the players.
Hayden Moya's kick lands around the 3-yard line and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And we were speaking of that earlier, Brandon, that we know he's got the leg to do it. And they let him go ahead and just release one and puts the ball, lands around the 3-yard line, and rolls into the end zone for a touchback.
Yep. And, Matt, as fast as this game's gone, I want to take a moment real quick. We won't be here tomorrow night on November 4th as a Friday. A week from tomorrow, we here in the good country of US of A celebrate Veterans Day. So I want to take a moment and tell you Happy Veterans Day a week in advance.
I appreciate it. So the next play is a reverse over to Bahana. How do you say that? Bahana. And is brought down after a 2-yard gain by a few of the Razorbacks. So clock now winding down to 8.5 minutes left in the game. Bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Leopards. Bingley under center. It is a handoff to Brown as he is met in the backfield by the one name we have called majority of the night, McQuan Traylor. And they will give him back to the line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Razorback defense holding their ground here with just under 8 minutes left in this game. Ball placed at the 22-yard line. Option play pitched over to Cotto as he hits the sideline and is brought down by number 20, Rodney Kinley. It looks like he may just be short of the first down marker as he is brought down at the 28-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th and 2 for the Leopards. And it looks like they're going to bring their punt team on.
And even deep in their own territory, you got to make sure, if you're the Hogs here, you know what happened last time back in the first half on a close play with short yardage to go. Dequeen used Nate Wall's move and got us on a hard count.
And so we can see Coach Trey Outlaw really getting with his defense and telling them to hold and do not jump off sides. But right before the snap it'd be a timeout by Dequeen. So with that timeout, let's take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
Please make that phone call now as we get close to the end of the game. And students, if you're having someone to pick you up, please make that call.
I've had entirely too much caffeine this afternoon.
I'm worried about that chicken messing with my stomach. I want to put a dip in, but
Huh. You need to do something to keep you awake.
all right, welcome back here. Leopards with a 4th and 2 as they bring the punt team on. Ball is snapped and the punt is away, and it is a high spiral punt as it will land around the 40-yard line of the Razorbacks and take a big hop where it will be downed at the 34-yard line of the Hogs.
And Matt, you see Coach Outlaw there with McQuan Traylor for Dequeen Leopards surrounding the ball on its way to stopping and marking the Hogs at the 34-yard line to start their possession. The important thing to know there and why they got onto Traylor is he came up at the last second to try to push a Dequeen player into the ball. I guess I'm not sure what he's thinking, because once the Dequeen players touch that ball, the ball is marked down. But he's being yelled at by his coaches because he pushed the Dequeen Leopard from behind.
Yep.
So could have caused the Hogs to then
have an unnecessary penalty.
Absolutely, and start back closer to their 20-yard line as opposed to the 35 here.
Most definitely. So Razorbacks will take over 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Next play is a handoff to Loudermill as he goes up the middle and is brought down at the 40-yard line. That'll be a 6-yard gain on the carry. So bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Hogs. As the Razorbacks looking over to the sideline, letting that play clock wind down as we're just now under 6 minutes left in the game.
And an important factor here real quick, Matt, in less than 6 minutes to go, Dequeen already down to just 1 timeout. That could play big for the Hogs.
Next play is a pass over to Javen Davis on a quick screen. And we'll get down to the 45-yard line, and that will be enough to move the chains for an Arkansas High Razorback first down.
Result of the play is a Razorback first down. First and 10 at the 45.
And again, the Hogs looking over towards their head coach, Trey Outlaw, as he is relaying in signals for the next play, letting that play clock wind down and run as much time off this clock as we can.
Absolutely.
Razorbacks holding on to a 4-point lead here with 5 minutes left in the game. Handoff to Loudermill up the middle, avoids a few tackles, breaks a few tackles, stays on his feet and just gets tripped up in the Leopard territory as he ends up around the 39-yard line, and that will be enough for another Razorback first down.
Matt, don't you know how bright the future is from the running back position? I mean, Nate Wall, quarterback junior, he's got one more year, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Cortland Loudermill, only a sophomore. A lot of fun left to watch him perform in the backfield and putting smiles on Razorback fans' faces every Friday night, hopefully for the next 2 years to come. Be anxious to see what his future looks like potentially at the next level.
Most definitely. Really enjoyed watching that young man and both young men out here this year. And so it looks like the play clock gets down a little bit. So Coach Trey Outlaw will elect to call a timeout with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in this game. Razorbacks leading 28-24 over Dequeen. So let's take a 30-second timeout here on 98.7 Real Country, home of the Hogs.
Again, the Robert Toyota attended one giveaway. Graduating seniors with a perfect attendance record in the 2022-2023 school year will come to picture into the Robert Toyota attended one giveaway ceremony. Eligible seniors encouraged to bring their family and friends to the ceremony on a date to see announced that the three different prizes, the grand prize, a 2023 Toyota Corolla.
All right, welcome back here with 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the game. Razorbacks leading 28-24 over the Leopards. Razorbacks with a 1st and 10 and on the Leopard 39-yard line. Looks like we will have a flag on the play. Looks like it will be against the Leopards. Will be offside on the Leopards. So we'll move the ball 5 yards up, and it'll bring up a 1st and 5.
Wouldn't mind another good Razorback touchdown here, Matt, quickly to cushion their lead with just 4 minutes to go, but it'd be nice to bleed down this clock as well. So kind of mixed feelings here as we see the Razorbacks try to execute the last 38 yards.
There's a handoff to Loudermill as he heads towards the Razorback sideline. Gets to the sideline, tiptoes and brought out of bounds around the 7. And that will be enough for another Razorback first down. That's going to bring up a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for the Hogs. On the athletic run by sophomore Cortland Loudermill.
I guess those few snaps a couple series ago playing defensive end didn't affect Cortland any. His legs are still churning as they have all season long.
Never seen him stop moving them legs.
And he's doing a great job, if you've noticed tonight, Matt, not going out of bounds.
Oh, yeah. Direct snap to Cortland Loudermill as he tries to get in the middle and is brought down just short of the end zone, about a foot short. So after that run, it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal from about a foot away from the end zone as the clock bleeding down to 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And as you said, Brandon, this would be a great touchdown to have here with under 3.5 minutes left in the game. Nate Wall under center. Quarterback keeper, and does get into the end zone for a 1-yard quarterback keeper rushing touchdown from junior quarterback Nate Wall.
Really good series right there by the Razorbacks. They chewed up over 3 minutes of clock, used 7 plays to do so, and hopefully a lot of things can happen in 3 minutes, Matt, in the game of football, but hopefully putting their stamp on the final game of the season here in front of the home crowd, and a happy home crowd at that.
And definitely going to be a little harder for the Leopards, being that they've only thrown 2 passes all night, with only having 1 timeout. They may have to look to go to the air. Wall on the 2-point conversion does the Tim Tebow touchdown, or the Tim Tebow touch pass over to number 13, DeAndre Burnell, and the 2-point conversion is good. So that'll bring your score Arkansas High Razorbacks 36, Dequeen Leopards 24, with 3 minutes 10 seconds left on the clock here on senior night here at Razorback Stadium in the last game of the 2022 football season under new athletic director, head coach Trey Outlaw. We'll have Hayden Moya set to kick off for the Hogs.
And you hear coaches in the background up here in our booth, Matt, hollering about another onside kick. Interested to know the reasoning behind that.
And Moya kicks the ball deep downfield, lands at the 5-yard line, rolls into the back of the end zone. Looked like they looking to attempt an onside kick and pulled all of the Leopards in shallow to try to defend the onside kick, and Moya steps back and lets one fire downfield for a touchback. And I believe that's his 3rd touchback of the night. And so the Leopards will take over at their own 20-yard line here with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the ball game. Leopards trailing the Hogs 24-36. 1 timeout for the Leopards. Brinkley hands off to number 3, Esther, as he is brought down. And they'll give him a 2-yard gain on that carry. Clock under 3 minutes. And so, Brandon, one thing that I do want to mention here with it being senior night is the 3 seniors here at Arkansas High in Contravion Parker, Jeremiah Jones, and Travion Nash. What a great group of guys that have been here to roll with the Hogs all year and be the 3 seniors on this very young Razorback team. And just the amount of support they have from their fellow players throughout the weeks when we interview our guys the week prior, and just being able to hear them talk about how much they look up to those guys and, you know, being the leaders on the field. What a great joy it has been all year being able to watch these young men be the leaders on the field and off the field.
Yeah, and they did what 2 other seniors chose not to do earlier in the year and take the easy way out and hang up their pads, maybe seeing that in their minds a bad season was ahead and it was a waste of their time for their senior year. And you hate to speculate, but those young men chose to walk away when their leadership was needed just as much as these 3 who stayed behind. So hats off to these guys for making it be really important to them and the pride that they possess within themselves as good young men of character. They talked to us yesterday about what it means to them to pass the baton down to the underclassmen, leave their legacy, if you will, and know that they can walk out of here tonight with their heads held high and know that those three, they have helped lay what should be a new positive foundation, a growing foundation under the new regime of Coach Outlaw and staff. Really cool feeling to know that you were the first group of the new coach. And what if you look back in a few years now, and even though you didn't get to enjoy it your senior year, what if these underclassmen in the next 2 and 3 years get to experience a playoff run and maybe a hope at a state title? It'd be really cool to know that you had your handprint all over that.
Definitely. And so we have 1 minute and 37 seconds left in the game, and it's a 4th and 7 for the Leopards. There's a pitch over to Esther as he is brought down by number 25 or number 29, Malik Dangerfield. And that will be a turnover on downs where the Hogs will take over 1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line with 1 minute 26 left in the game. The Leopards do not have any timeouts left, so I would assume here that the Razorbacks will take a knee and will burn this clock out to end this ball game and end this 2022 Razorback football season with a victory over the Dequeen Leopards.
And a hard-fought victory, but Matt, the formation Mr. Wall assumably is getting ready to go into, and then he doesn't. But I was going to speak on, and you knowing this more than anybody here in the booth, the best feeling in the world and the best formation that you can call out of the playbook is the victory formation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so it was a penalty for false start against the Hogs. So we will see 4 receivers to the left. Loudermill in the backfield, 2 Walls left. We will see Loudermill take the direct snap. Loudermill is brought down and steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And that will stop the clock. We'll bring up a 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 8 for the Hogs. And Wall looks over to Coach Trey Outlaw, gets the signal. Direct snap to Loudermill again up the middle. He is brought down at the 18-yard line. Razorbacks waiting for the clock to bleed down. 50 seconds remaining in this game. Clock down to 45. Play clock at 17 seconds. Direct snap to Loudermill again as he will break through to get the first down. And that should end our ball game here. As the clock, 36 seconds. However, the clock is stopped now. We get the clock running. And they will reset the play clock. So that will end the ball game here at Razorback Stadium on senior night. And that'll bring the final score of tonight's game as we just await the final game clock to tick down. Razorbacks will take the win over Dequeen 36-24. As we know, those 3 Razorback seniors are looking at that clock wind down to 0 seconds left on it and will end their senior year here at Arkansas High. So again, final score tonight, Arkansas High Razorbacks 36, Dequeen Leopards 24. So that will bring the Razorbacks record to end the season at 4-6 and end conference at 3-4. And I believe that'll put them in 5th or 6th place. I think it's 6th place in 5A South.
I think so. They finished just ahead of Hope and Dequeen, assumably. Other games not final around our conference. Some teams obviously jockeying for the 1st through 4th position as they'll take the top 4 and move on to the postseason. But to your point, Matt, closing out this final game here at home, and nice way for the Razorbacks to go out on a high note.
Definitely. And so, man, it has been a great season here for mine and Brandon's first year calling football here on 98.7 Real Country. And we'd like to thank everybody for listening to this 2022 season under new head coach, athletic director Trey Outlaw. And it's been a pleasure to call the games here, and it's been a pleasure to work with the players and the football staff here at Arkansas High. We look forward to being able to call the games next year for all of you Hog fans. And so you have been listening to Razorback Football. I'd like to thank Brandon for bringing you the color here, and Skylar back at the station for doing a great job keeping up with us and trying to keep me and Brandon in line as we go through this first year of doing our radio broadcasting. But so you've been listening to Arkansas High Razorback Football here on 98.7 Real Country. I'm Matt Riddle. Appreciate you guys, and y'all have a safe trip and enjoy your time and enjoy your weekend, and we'll see y'all back next year for Arkansas High football. Thank you, and have a good night.
You've spent years working hard to create your financial security. Reward yourself with a checking account designed specifically for you by a bank that shows you the outstanding level of customer service you deserve. With State Bank's Elite Checking, you can qualify for a competitive rate of interest, no monthly service fee, free checks, and superior customer service. Let State Bank be your bank for service, relationships, and living life to its fullest.
Here at Texarkana College, it is our mission to advance.
All right, let's get real. We do things differently at Texarkana College. We understand the real world, and we know how to prepare our students. Whether you're starting right out of high school or starting over, there is something for everyone at Texarkana College. Learn more at texarkanacollege.edu.
Here at Texarkana College.
Shield against the elements. Comfort in the midst of chaos. Shelter in the aftermath of destruction. For 75 years, Shelter Insurance has remained true to our promise to be there when you need us most. This is the heartbeat of our company, our why. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life.
In Arkansas, see Brian Bolt for a free insurance review.
Whether you're looking for a new garage door or just need repairs, Overhead Door stands for excellence. With a complete line of garage doors and openers, plus expert service you can trust. Beautifully designed, beautifully crafted, trusted for more than 90 years. Always look for the Overhead Door logo to be sure you're getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door.